Good evening there, young Padawans and Padawans too. It is me, the Redneck JT. Yeah, I'm doing the voice tonight. And guess what? We're back. It's Monday night. Woohoo! It's two Ewoks in the park. With me, JT the Redneck. I got Sully the Geek. He's coming along with me. Tonight, we are reviewing episode 2 of the new Star Wars series, Skeleton Crew. Going to be a lot of fun. So do me a favor. Get your favorite adult beverage or whatever it is you might want to have a drink of tonight. Something to munch on. Sit back in that beanbag chair or recline in the outhouse, whichever it may be. But hold on tight because it's going to be one hell of a ride. Sully, it's all yours.
Oh, I thank you. There we go. Oh, I thank you, sir. I forgot to hit the mute button to unmute myself. Go figure. Go figure. So hello, everybody. Welcome to the late night edition of Two Ewoks in the Park. Sorry about having to start an hour late because, well, you know what?
Sometimes life gets in the way.
Shit happens. Shit happens. It happens. I can't help it. I don't know what to do other than that. So, you know, it is what it is.
Can't argue it.
But yes, so hello, everybody. We're going to be talking about episode 2 of Skeleton Crew. So for all you Star Wars fans out there, come on in, have some fun with us. Twitch.tv/accidental punch. That's where we're live and you can join in on the conversation. I am actually going to go live on TikTok. I'm live right now, just on my phone. Not on the act, like I'm not showing all the graphics and everything, but just on the phone. So I want to say hello to everybody who's coming in and watching on TikTok. I appreciate it. If you hit the screen and like the live and join in on the conversation. So again, apologizing for starting an hour late. Life gets in the way. But at the same time, JT was having microphone issues to begin with. So, yeah, I don't think it really mattered if we were going to start late or not. It happens.
Something tells me if I'd have come in here an hour earlier, I'd have been going through the same damn thing. So,
probably.
Yeah, I'm thinking it wouldn't have mattered.
Probably. But we're going to get right down to the nitty gritty because, well, we've got a lot to talk about. And a lot happened in a 32-minute episode. 32-minute episode, which reminds me, Disney Plus, Star Wars, Skeleton Crew, they do not sponsor this show. It'd be really cool if they did. Not gonna lie. Okay? Not gonna lie. So I want to say hi to all those people. Don't hesitate to be a part of the conversation either. Okay? Don't hesitate because we like when people have fun with us. So right down to the nitty gritty, we take a wonderful star cruiser through the stars off of the planet. And of course, shit happens. I mean, why not enjoy a ship that's not yours and your kids? Which, again...
Well, I mean, that's been buried for God only knows how long. I mean, this thing had trees grown on top of it.
True. Trees and dirt and all that good stuff. I'd like to say that it was probably a good hiding spot, if anything.
Well, great hiding spot, but I think the problem with the hiding spot is the fact that the ship was upside down.
I mean,
so I think it was more of a crash landing hiding spot.
Tomato. I mean, it couldn't have been.
We do have to get a little specific with it.
Well, it couldn't have been fully upside down because the droid that was supposedly dead or not functioning was what was it? SM-33, I believe we find out is his name. Looked like he was right side up.
Well, but yeah, I mean, when if you're standing and the ship flips over, what do? You flip over, you hit, you roll over, and you re-elevate yourself.
Right.
Most time.
Which happens.
Right.
But
either way, it was. I mean, they showed it doing. In the first episode, they showed it doing a full flip.
They did. They did show the ship kind of correcting itself and doing what it needed to do.
Yeah, but either way, the fact of the matter is, good old Whim hit the little green button And the ship said, bye.
Bye, see ya, Lightspeed, and that's where we catch up because the they're calling this the Onyx Cinder. That's the name of the ship, Onyx Cinder.
I like that name.
I kind of like it too. I think it's certainly Star Wars.
Right.
I'm still
Well,
getting.
I'm a big fan of the Onyx Stone, so that's like right
True.
up my alley.
I am still getting Goonies feeling to this show, which I love.
Yeah, I mean, it would be cool if they carried that feeling all the way through
throughout the rest of the wonderful series. You know, I think it would work. And what happens is now they're going through hyperspace. All the kids, Wim, Neil, Fern, KB, they're all like, what do we do? What do we do? Because holy crap, shit's hitting the fan and we don't know what to do afterwards. Don't even know how to get out of the light speed because apparently the autopilot is doing what it needs to do. And I believe, what was it? It was Fern, if I remember correctly, that said, what happens if, certain things are out of place and we get smashed to bits and pieces and all that good stuff.
Yeah, and Neil starts freaking out.
What do we do?
Or, I'm sorry,
So they get to a point where Fern does actually manage to get the hyperdrive off, which is amazing. Not bad for a kid. And they're in unfamiliar space because now we've got a combination of Star Wars, Goonies, and now Lost in Space. Not going to lie, I love the original TV show Lost in Space.
Yeah.
I love the Netflix version of that.
Not a fan of the movie.
The movie is not 100% Lost in Space, but it worked. I mean, it didn't do very well in the theaters. Clearly.
It worked, but like I said, just not a big fan of it.
Yeah,
but it was still a decent movie. But that's beside the point.
It was decent. That's the thing. But what they soon find out is they don't know where they are. They don't know where in space they are. The hyperdrive is now done. And they get to the point where Neil is clearly panicking because why not? He's a kid.
We're lost.
And Fern is like, okay, chill out. Knock your shit off. Relax. We could just use the computer to get home. However,
and JT being JT goes, I can get us there, and goes to grab, Wim being Wim.
Yeah. I can do this.
Says, I can get us there and goes to grab the controls.
But at the same time, they also go, no, don't touch a freaking thing.
Yeah. Fern literally threatens him.
Which I thought was funny.
If you touch another button, I will kill you.
I mean, I thought it was great, to be honest. So
yes,
from there, and for those just joining us, we are talking about Skeleton Crew from Star Wars. And yes, I know you can't see my co-host on TikTok. I apologize. I have to keep setting up the studio on the computer, and I don't know why, but it is what it is. Technology.
But no worries, because I have a face built for radio. So
also true. See, I mean, for those on Twitch, you can see it, no problem.
Sorry,
but while they're in the ship and they're trying to figure out what to do next. They hear a howl. They hear clanking and creaking from the ship. And they look down the corridor, and now they see that one-eyed droid that was hanging from the handle coming toward them. Not just coming toward them, but also demanding to tell him where the captain is. And he also thinks that all four kids are intruders of the ship.
Yeah, I kind of got the 80s horror movie vibe
when they first revealed him with the smoke and then just the light from the one eye and
Terminator.
with his shadow. He's doing the limp thing and just dragging himself along and all that stuff. I'm like,
I was
yep,
thinking
80s
more
horror
along
movie.
the lines of Terminator.
Yeah,
Yeah,
kind of a Terminator.
Terminator, where you finally see the metal exoskeleton and the red eyes.
Yep.
It worked. It worked. It gave that eerie feel to it. I want to say hi to Jonesy Girl on Twitch. Hello, darling. How are you? We're talking about Star Wars Skeleton Crew. I want to say hi to everybody joining on TikTok. I appreciate it. Saying hi. A lot of people are, just joining and probably just sitting around going, who the hell is this ugly freaking bastard? Hi. Nice to see you. Say hi. It's okay. Share the live. We're fun. We like to have fun. So as we're going along, Fern actually comes up with the idea to say that Captain's dead. I killed him, pushed him out an airlock. And
she got rather graphic about it too. She's
really
like, I stabbed him in the chest.
Stabbed him in the chest and pushed him out the airlock.
And threw him out the airlock. It's like, damn.
But the best thing about that was the droid's like, that's highly unlikely.
Well, it did, which means that now, and this is where she's so confident, and then this last line she gets kind of iffy. She's like, which means that I'm your captain now.
Yeah, I'm the captain now,
right?
Because I did what I did. So she asks him to identify himself. What's his call numbers, and he says he's SM-33. And that's when she says, well, SM-33, because I took out your captain, I'm in charge. I'm the captain. Again, 4 kids, lost in space, with a pirate droid. Because let's face it, he's missing one eye, so, eye patch. Yeah.
Yeah. It pretty much sums it up.
Now, at the same time, though, Wim flat out says, wait a minute, who made you captain? And Fern's like, me, it's your fault we're here. So
yeah, and even Neil kind of turns on him a little bit because even he goes, it kind of really is.
Yeah, it is your fault. But the best part was the droid's like, well, you can fight to the death. I got a knife.
Right? That was funny.
No, there'll be no
instantly
fighting.
Like, no, that's okay.
There'll be no fighting to the death tonight. No. Oh, I was laughing with that one because I'm like, you know what? That's exactly what a pirate would do.
Mm-hmm.
A pirate, a first mate, has the right to challenge the captain to a duel.
Yep.
To take control of the ship.
Anybody has a right to challenge the captain.
Yes. Whether you win or not, that's a different story. So while they're discussing things and, Fern tells SM-33, show them around the ship, which he does. The droid sits down and she's like, all right, can you fly this thing? Like, you need to get us home. Well, sure, I can get you home. And KB goes, wait a second. How? And all of a sudden, he's just running through very, very quickly what buttons do what and what switches do it. It was basically a quick tutorial of how to run the ship.
A droid version of a tutorial. Yeah, because not Neil. Jeez.
Wim.
No, not Wim. The girl.
KB.
No, the one that's the captain.
Fern. We'll learn.
Fern says, "Can you teach me to fly the ship?"
Yeah. Do.
This is this.
You're done.
He even does the backwards flip your hand over, touch
Get her
the
done.
button thing on the console behind them and everything. That was funny.
Just get her done. Get her done. That's the way it rolls.
And he said, understanding, KB goes,
Yeah,
yeah, I understand.
I understand. Which again goes to back up my theory that the visor that she has that she can pull down in front of her eyes are actually cybernetic implants.
Yep.
Because if she can understand that so quickly, cybernetic implants.
Yep.
Yay. So the one thing that I noticed was while they were all discussing on, how to get home, do what they need to do and whatnot, the droid says, okay, well, first and foremost, there's damage to the ship. We need to fix that.
Yep.
We need to fix all the damage to the ship. And they go, okay, well, where do we have to go? Because I don't know what's next. And we just want to get home because we're here by mistake. And he says, well, where are you from? And they say, at Aden. I've never heard of at Aden before in Star Wars lore. Okay.
Apparently, neither has SM-33.
Nope. Which makes you wonder. Now, obviously, this was just created for the show. But if they've never heard of it, who has?
Yeah, you would think if a droid hadn't heard of it, then there's something wrong there.
Something's very wrong.
You skipped the funny part, though.
Did I?
Yeah. After he was done with the tutorial and everything and all that, just before they start talking about going home and everything, Wim goes, well, what's this button? And he reaches for this little white box. And he opens the box. And SM-33 goes, no. Don't touch that button. That is the button for the emergency hull demolition sequence.
Yep, that'll do it.
Never touch the whole demolition sequence button.
Also known as the big red button in every single cartoon, movie that just
The thing that makes it go boom.
causes complete and total chaos every single time.
Yeah.
Every single time. So
But
afterward,
there's Adelon, there's LL Core, there's Aldana.
yeah, going through the list alphabetically of all the different planets and moons and systems and all of that. And
But nobody recognizes those, of course.
yeah. And SM-33 is like, nope, never heard of it. But KB says, well, what if you search the data bank? Search your data bank. Let's see what happens.
For your last location, yeah.
And then you see a rat just come out of his eyes.
That was funny. Look how cute. And then it jumps on Neil. And Neil's like,
I mean, to me, that was hysterical.
yeah.
Yeah, absolutely
It was.
hysterical. Because
And it was unexpected, too. I mean, I know I wasn't expecting a rat to crawl out of his face.
I mean, maybe just a little.
Yeah, it wasn't even a thought that tickled my thought.
It could have.
Thought that tickled my, yeah.
Try again.
I confused myself on that one, so we're just going to let it go.
Sounds like a plan to me. Sounds like a plan. It does. I mean,
But I love how this scene ends, though.
yeah.
Because, SM-33, after all this discussion and everything and searching his data banks and not finding anything, and
Right.
he goes, okay, well, and he points out the front window and says, which one of those is it?
Yeah, which one is it? It's actually behind them.
And they show it out in front, but then they zoom back behind the ship. and all you see is one little ship sitting in this giant freaking universe of all these stars and planets and everything.
Yep. And it's like, hello,
And
here I am.
that, to me, that was an awesome scene.
Yeah. Which one is it?
Yeah, I mean, this really brings home just how bad of a situation they are really in.
Oh, without a doubt.
You know, I mean, it doesn't do it subtly. It smacks you across the face with a 4x4 with it.
Yeah. Now,
You know?
I will admit that, most of the time when it comes to TV shows and movies, usually you hear the title in some way, shape, or form.
Mm-hmm.
And in this case, Neil is freaking out because they are now fully past the barrier of their planet. And as he puts it, the title of the episode, we are way, way out past the barrier. We're lost. We don't know where we are, and it's all your fault.
Yeah.
It
wasn't just me. And then he runs off.
Yeah. Wasn't just me. And I agree with him. It wasn't just him because the other three played one hell of a part.
I won't say that they were just as much as fault as him because he was the one that hit the button.
Yes.
But at the same time, they're the ones that got into the argument with him about what kind of thing they were in. Was it a Jedi temple or was it a ship? And blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And made him run off, which caused him to find the deck
Yep.
of the ship where the flashing green button was.
Always.
So it's all of their faults,
Yeah.
just not
Hands
as
down.
much
Hands down.
as it is Whim's.
Well, at the same time, SM-33 flat out said, should I throw him out the airlock?
Right? No, that's not necessary.
And Fern's just like, no, just focus on getting us to a spaceport so we can make repairs.
Because
And
he
that's
did
what he
mention
does.
that he could take them to a spaceport where they could get the parts they needed, no questions asked.
Yeah, no questions asked.
That is a line you don't want to hear in this kind of movie.
You don't want to hear that in any type of movie like that. Because
Or any kind of situation, because, I mean, no questions asked means,
yep.
in any translation, bad guys, bad things, probable death.
Yep. Bad things are going to happen. Well, from there they go into hyperspace, and then we're back to at Aden, where the safety droids from the school are out searching, and I would, I don't even think they're really safety droids. I think they're more like the robotic police. That would probably be the best way to
Safety droids is the DEI happy way of putting it.
Sure. The life is good in this wonderful development on Aden. I mean, why not?
Yes.
Why
But
not?
the interesting thing is that they're not out trying to find people. They're out trying to find out what caused the seismic activity
Right.
in the
Because something happened.
area. Yeah.
But while that's happening and they're scanning, you got to remember, Wim's dad is out there looking for them, and now he's looking for help because now you can see, what was his name? Wendell, if I remember correctly, Wendell. He's
Wendell.
running through the forest, and the only thing that he can come up with is there was a spaceship.
My son, 300 kids, spaceship to buy. They need help.
And to me, that was the icing on the cake of an alien probed my butt. Prove me wrong. Prove me wrong.
Yeah.
He looked like a crazy person.
Well, and it's funny though because the droids played the perfect classic droid role.
Right.
of, tell them, that's against the law. You can't do that, blah, blah, blah. One of the last things they say is that flying beyond the barrier is impossible and illegal.
Yeah.
So what do they say? Well, follow me.
Well, it happened anyway.
Yep.
So they're basically going to bring him in for questioning. Who knows what's going to happen with him?
Right.
But now we go back to the ship, and SM-33 brings them to what was it? Borgo Prime.
Yep.
Also known as
Pirate Heaven.
Yeah. Tortuga. That's the city I was thinking of for Pirates of the Caribbean. Tortuga. All the pirates gather in one place. They're free. They can do whatever they want. They can kill. They can fight. And nobody cares. Tortuga. Borgo Prime. Space Tortuga.
Which translated in Sullyese is Tortuga.
Space Tortuga. That's what it is. Of course, while they're, going throughout the ship, Wim and Neil, well, Neil more than Wim, comes upon two dead bodies. They're skeletons. So the Onyx Cinder was there for quite some time.
Fully decomposed.
Oh, yeah, fully decomposed. So long time that ship has been there. And Wim is like, hey, look what we did. Those people probably killed themselves.
They died in a duel.
Yeah. And then they find the captain's room.
Yeah.
And they're like, hey, we can sleep here. And Neil's like, do you really want to sleep in that? Just saying.
Right. Jonesy Girl has a quick question. She says, so curious, where in the Star Wars timeline does this show fall?
Glad you asked. 9 years after the fall of the Empire. 9 years after the fall of the Empire.
That would put it after what movie?
Return of the Jedi.
There you go.
As a matter of fact, if you really want to get into the details and specifics of the Star Wars timeline, it's 9 ABY, which is 9 years after the Battle of Yavin, okay? Also known as 3286 LY, which is the Lothal calendar, or 7986 in the CRC calendar. Which is the Coruscant Reckoning calendar.
And Jonesy, that's why I usually don't ask questions like that.
So yeah, 9 years after the Battle of Yavin, which Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi were only like a couple of years apart from each other. So it takes place during The Mandalorian. All right, so anything that's happening with the Mandalorian at this time, Mandalorian Grogu, Book of Boba Fett, Ahsoka, all of that, it's everything before the new movies. Before The Force Awakens, The Last Jedi, and The Rise of Skywalker. Okay?
It's between Return of the Jedi and Force Awakens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. So yeah, there's a lot. Don't get me wrong. There's a lot going on in there.
Oh yeah.
But the interesting part about that is from where we fall, okay? From where we fall with this series. This is a planet we've never heard of. The kids we've never heard of before. We're finally seeing pirates. And I even said, I mentioned it to JT during last week's show, that we're finally getting to see the darker underworld of Star Wars.
Right. the inner workings of,
Yeah,
the dark side of the dark side, really.
pretty much. Pretty
You
much.
know.
So from here, obviously they're exploring the ship. Wim and Neil are best friends. They're doing what they need to do. And Neil's just like, this ship is old, man. Like, what if it falls apart while we're in it?
Yeah.
And then they
Well,
arrive at Borgo Prime.
Right. Well, the neat thing for me on this, and I said this last week, is one of the things that really, really pulled me into this show is Wim is me.
Yes. As a kid.
The way Wim thinks, the way Wim acts, the way he reacts to situations.
Yep.
Is me when I was a kid, and even now sometimes.
He's just gonna jump off a cliff.
But just like the way he was going through the captain's cabin.
Yes.
He finds one hat and he puts that on. He finds another hat, he puts that on Neil, and he's doing this and checking out, looking through the spyglass. He's checking out the compass. And he's like, dude, we're in the middle of the galaxy. We could go wherever we want. Don't you want to have an adventure?
We can have fun.
And Neil's like, no, I want to go home.
I want to go home. I want to see my family, my brothers and sisters.
Right. And he's naming them up. They're probably worried about me. He names his mom and his dad, and then he names off the twins and all this other stuff, But then he mentions that they're going to the spaceport.
Yes. And when they finally get there, SM-33 flies it, lands it, does whatever. But also they see a lot of pirate frigates. A lot of pirate ships out there.
It's neat that they had a shuttle.
Yes.
Picked them up, took them from their ship up to the actual port.
We're going to call that a little ferryman.
There you go.
Because why not? I mean, how did you land? How did you get to port when you were a pirate on the sea? You take a boat and you go to the docks.
Yep.
You drop anchor and you're good to go.
A furry ferryman at that.
Yes. I don't know what type of alien that little guy is.
Yeah.
But when they finally bring the kids to the actual port, he's going to do what any other pirate would do or transport will do. Hey, pay up. I just did a service for you, Mm-hmm. So Wim takes out a Republic credit and gives it to him. And that guy freaks out. Like, holy shit, I got a Republic credit, blah, 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 blah. Like, can't even understand what he's saying. But then runs off.
Yeah.
SM-33 stays with the ship. He's going to repair the ship, do what he needs to do. And he also tells them not to trust anybody. Makes sense. Your kids going to a place full of pirates. Not a good look.
Right.
Not a good look. So clearly the kids are like, oh, I can't believe I'm here. What happened here? And they're all talking. They all agreed to stay together, including Fern. Fern's like, okay, everybody, stay together. They all did what a kid does and walked off. Walked off and got lost. I mean, why not? Why not explore and just get lost? Well, some split off outside of a brothel. Wonderful brothel. KB sees some animals, gets distracted by them. Also talks to I don't know. It was kind of like a bird, I guess, right? Would you say it was like a bird? Can't hear you. You're muted.
Yeah, some kind of a bird.
Some kind of bird. And then, kind of walks away, bumps into Fern, like, what did you do? And then they're like, where are the boys? Where'd the boys go? That's not good. Not good. Woman in front of the brothel is like, what the hell's going on here? Why are there kids here?
Right.
Kids shouldn't be here, especially at Borgo Prime. Well, the boys ended up in an establishment, so to speak. And they sit at the bar and they order whatever the person next to them was having.
Big mistake. Which
just so happened to be the special. And even Neil was like, no.
He was doing all right until he cracked that lobster-looking thing in half and dumped the goo out on top of what looked like rice or something.
Yes. Which was interesting to say the least.
Space food special.
But while that was happening and they were ordering everything, the girls met the same woman in front of the brothel and was like, you give me money and I will get you all to safety because you guys shouldn't be here.
Yeah.
Fern says, well, we got a ship. We just need to get the guys back. And the woman goes, where are you from? And she says, at Aden.
Mm-hmm.
And the woman's like, I've never heard of that. Never heard of that at all.
Yeah.
So while they're in the bar / restaurant / establishment, if you will, the boys pay for the food. And the bartender / owner of the restaurant's like, whoa, hold it. Where'd you get these? Where did you get these? Because holy shit, never seen these before. How did you come across them? Give me the rest because your food is now more expensive. Which then causes another patron to go, hold it. Wait a minute. Stop being a liar. Stop being a douche. It's cheaper than you're saying. You're just trying to charge them more money.
Trying to rip them off.
Yeah. Trying to do the whole pay up, buddy, if you want to get out of here alive type of thing. Which, Wim is like, well, it's my lunch money. My dad gave me lunch money.
No, Neil did that.
Yeah, that's right. Neil did it. That's right.
Neil's like, his dad gave it to him for lunch money.
It was his lunch
like,
money.
Shut up.
And I was like, bam. Obviously, that caused a uproar in laughter. And what was his name? I forget it. Vane? I think that was his name. Vane?
Yeah.
If I remember correctly, it was Vane.
Yeah, it was Vane.
Yeah, that's right. And we've seen, I've seen Vane before.
This is the guy that I was talking about that was on the pirate ship.
Yes.
Remember I talked about the guy on the pirate ship? He was in the background, but I'd seen him before.
Yes.
That's him.
Yeah. So he was in The Mandalorian.
Okay.
Because he was a part of the siege on what was it?
Lando City.
No, not Lando. It wasn't Lando. It was
the guy I kept calling Lando, but wasn't.
Yeah,
Lando.
the guy. He was originally a part of Gorian Shard's
pirate crew.
Yes, Gorian Shard's group that Mando helped fight off on what was it? Navarro? Was it Navarro? Pretty sure it was Navarro.
Oh, I think so.
Yeah, because Navarro was under the High
It was on
Magistrate.
the Outer Rim, so it wasn't under any. Well, it was supposed to be under the Republic's protection.
Right. Grief Karga. That's it. That's the character's name. Grief Karga, who, obviously was played by the late. So sad. So sad. I can't remember his name. I can't remember his name.
Silly.
The hell was his name? Fucking hell. I can't remember his name. Holy shit. He was in Rocky. God damn it. Now I gotta look it up. Because it's gonna bug me. Carl Weathers.
Yes.
He's in Rocky. He was in Predator, all that stuff. So yes.
Search. Who was the mayor in Mandalorian?
No, it wasn't the mayor, the High Magistrate.
It came up.
Really?
It came up. Grief Karga, portrayed by Carl Williams or Weathers.
Well, Vane clearly is still around from after Mandalorian, and this may even take place before Mandalorian.
Right.
Asks the kids where they're from, and Neil's saying, we're from Adden. That's where we're from, Adden.
And everybody laughs.
Everybody continues to laugh, and they're like, it's got to be fake. He doesn't exist. Doesn't exist. But then they start asking the kids if they have more money. And that's when they're like, nope, goodbye, see you later. Boom, out the door.
Let's take it from them.
And while that's all happening, these women, Neil, are now on the run. Fern and KB are trying to convince the door woman that Adden does exist and they are from there. Problem is, as she has
literally
stated,
tells them that they're going to have to come up with a better story than that.
Yeah. Because they now all think that Adden is just a mythical place.
Yeah.
What was it the term she used? The mythical treasure planet, I believe they said.
Yeah.
Mythical treasure planet.
Treasure planet or planet of treasures or something right along those lines.
So the guys meet up with the girls.
Because
pirates,
the guys are running through the place going, huh?
The pirates are in full pursuit. Vane attempts to, stop them all, and Fern finally pulls out a blaster and shoots up in the air. Not going to lie, while I was watching the episode, I kind of forgot that she had a blaster on her.
Well, she had to have found it on the ship.
Yes, it was on the ship.
Because she didn't have it before that.
Right. Or,
or
if I remember correctly, it might have been one that she picked up on the ground. But I'm pretty sure she got it from the ship.
I think so.
Oh, yeah. No, she did get it from the ship because SM-33 gave it to her. He gave it to her. Now I remember. I watched it last week, folks. Yeah, good luck. So Vane now is telling her, okay, drop the gun. Drop the gun. And everything will be fine. Just drop the gun. And one of them says, no, you know what? I'm not going to drop the gun. But the alien vendor's like, no. Not enough money to go around. It's mine. And one of them goes, I believe that they're from there. But Vane flat out says, no, they can't. It doesn't exist. It's not real. And that's when Vane disarms Fern, and oh shit.
Yeah, not good.
Not good at all. But lo and behold, who comes to save the day? SM-33. Because as the kids are like, no, I don't want to die.
Right.
SM-33 comes into play and says, don't you dare hurt my captain. Oh, now, I'm not going to lie. That was pretty
Can I
brutal.
just say, SM-33 is a badass.
Probably your new favorite character, right?
One of.
I mean, I liked it. I thought
He is a badass.
and he's got that pirate sound to his voice too.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking up the voice actor. Let's see who did it. Nick Frost. Nick Frost is SM-33.
Nice.
Where have I seen him before? Where have I seen Nick Frost before? I mean, I love the voice. The voice was amazing for it.
Right.
Let's see, Nick Frost. Nick Frost, Hot Fuzz, Shaun of the Dead, and The World's End. That's where I know him from. Spaced, How to Train Your Dragon. Well, he's in the new How to Train Your Dragon. Let's see, what else was he in?
All Getaway.
Yep. Happy Family, Pirate Radio, Ice Age. He was in Ice Age. He's been around the block.
He's going to be in the Adventures of Tintin sequel.
Yep. But Hot Fuzz, Shaun of the Dead, The World's End, that's where I remember him from. I mean, I've seen a lot of the other ones, but now, like, I'm putting a face to him, and it worked. I'm like, that's why I like him. So, SM-33 obviously comes to their rescue, confronts Vane, and is like, don't mess with my captain at all. And Vane's like, go back to your ship. Go. Shoo.
Not without my captain.
Yep.
And the boys.
And the boys. And that's when SM-33 gets attacked by Vane. Well, tries to be attacked by Vane.
Right.
And he throws the fry cook, pummels the crustacean alien, and SM-33 fights off several of the pirates, and yeah.
I guess that bird kind of thing is called a fuzzball.
A fuzzball.
Yes. It's called a fuzzball.
Not wrong.
Because he threw one of the pirates into a pet kiosk.
Yeah.
Which
Not
set
wrong.
several of them free.
Not wrong at all.
Good description.
Yeah. So that's when the rest hits the fan, because now they are taken captive. They're prisoners.
Oh, no, not yet. Not yet, they're not.
Oh, that's right. What's his name? Brutus comes into play again, doesn't he?
Right. Well, they got back to the ferry, and I think they were trying to negotiate price with the furry ferryman.
Yes, you're right.
And they're standing there, and all of a sudden, all you see is SM-33's head blow up.
Well, no, it wasn't his head. It was his back. He collapsed, though.
He's shot in the head.
Did he?
By Brutus.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
Our good old Shistavanian wolf-looking character named Brutus, who we saw in episode 1.
Yes. Good old Brutus.
And then another rat scurries out of SM-33's head.
Yes, but Neil picks it up to save the rat. So,
Yeah.
And then Brutus wants to know where they're from. And they say, well, we're from Adden. And then he goes, where'd you get the droid from? How do you know?
Well, the main thing you want to know is how did they get their coordinates and past the cannons?
Yes.
And I think one of the other pirates told him, well, you should have asked the...
No, Fern said that. Fern said that. Fern said you should have asked the droid.
You should have asked the droid before you blew his head off.
Should have asked the droid before he went kaboom. Well, that's when they all say, all right, well, you're going to get interrogated. We're going to talk to you, have a little chat. And, oh, by the way, you're going to the brig.
Right.
And Wim...
That way we can interrogate you.
And Wim, out of nowhere, is just like, what's a brig? Again, they're kids. They don't know these terms.
And that's what I love about Wim, is he keeps that character.
Oh,
he keeps that childlike curiosity and attitude and everything else. And that's what I love about him.
Yep.
You know, Fern, she's now playing the adults.
Yep.
Kind of in the group. You know, everybody stay together. I told you to stay together. Those kind of things.
Yeah.
And KB and Neil, well, Neil's just playing the chicken shit.
Yep.
And KB is just kind of playing the analyst, not really doing or saying anything, but just kind of observing and absorbing.
She's learning.
Yes.
She's learning. And I think part of that has to do with her cybernetic implants.
Right.
I really do.
They're always curious.
Yeah. So they're all in the brig, and Fern's like, okay, well, we need to, get out of here. We need to figure out how to get out and be, rescue ourselves, or maybe stage a rescue attempt or something along those lines. And Neil goes, well, what if we tell the rat to do it? What if we tell the rat to, go and do what we need to do? Want to say hi to Lady Lee, who came in on TikTok. Hello. Nice to see you. Thanks for joining.
This is where I got flashbacks to Green Mile.
For being in the brig? Oh,
well,
no,
when he
mouse?
pulls the mouse out.
Yeah, with the mouse.
Mm-hmm. I can't think of
the mouse.
I can't think of what they call. What did it? Mr. Jingles.
Mr. Jingles. Wow.
From the Green Mile.
Yeah, that works. Mr. Jingles. Well, while they're trying to figure out how to get the key, Neil tells the rat that he saved to go to a certain section, climb up, and grab the key and bring it back to them. Makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
Until the rat runs off.
I mean, he went to the key.
He did.
He went straight to the key.
Yep.
But then he couldn't figure out what to do after that.
Well, I mean, he tried.
Right.
He tried. But then, as they're sitting there, KB, obviously was paying attention and recalls that there was a legend about Adden holding like an eternal treasure.
Mm-hmm.
And Wim's like, well, that's dumb.
Yeah.
That's dumb and horrible. Go figure. So now the blame game is starting to happen because Fern is like, listen, you're the reason we're here. You're the reason this whole thing has hit the fan. And Wim is just like, well, what if we bribe our way out? What if we, offer the rest of my money and, give it to them so we can get out of here?
First shh.
Yeah. Fern's like, put that shit away. Right. We don't like this. Don't trust them. And the the cool thing about Fern is she's very level-headed. So to me, she's actually a natural born leader in this episode.
And a leader and / mother figure.
Yeah.
Very protective, very,
Yes.
motherly in the way that she's doing things. Like
Yes.
when Wim went to pull the money out, she's like, "No, you put that away. That's not going to do anything but make it worse."
Right. But the other thing is
those things,
because she's blaming him for the misadventures, he's blaming her for telling SM-33 to bring him to the spaceport.
right?
So now the blame game is going between the two.
Yeah.
But Fern also has the ability to stand up for herself.
Mm-hmm.
And while they're squabbling, I guess you could say,
Good way to put it.
we see and hear a hooded figure call from behind them.
Oh, stop fighting, Jesus Christ!
Like, knock it off. Stop fighting. Fern, very defensive, says, back up. Back away. We don't trust you. Want to say hi to Bree and Bones on a Bike. I like it. I like that name. Bones on a Bike.
Nice.
That's a good one.
Bones on a bike.
Bones on a Bike.
I like that one.
I do. Want to say hi to the two of them. We're talking Star Wars. So, ladies, if you like Star Wars, here we are. We don't always talk about it, but we do today. So, after she tells him to back away, he offers to help. Offers to help them escape the current predicament in the brig. And that there are other ways to get out. And he said it so calmly. And he says, those nearby keys are hanging nearby. And that's your ticket out.
Mm-hmm. Fern being Fern goes, well, hello.
We just tried.
Can't reach it, dumbass.
Well, we just tried. But then he just puts his hand out and he uses the force to levitate the keys toward them.
Yeah. I like what he said, that the distance is an illusion.
Yes. He's teaching.
I like that line.
He's teaching them. So obviously we know he's force sensitive. Do we know he's a Jedi or a Sith? No. But we do know he is force sensitive. And Wim says, "You're a Jedi?" And
he said it quietly. He did say it quietly, though.
Yeah, he did say it quietly. But he also just puts his fingers up to his lips. And he says, "Can you keep a secret?"
Mm-hmm.
Can you keep a secret?
And fade to black.
That's the end of the episode. Yep. Well, not even a fade to black. It was more fade to the stars. Because Star Wars ends with the stars.
Well, yeah.
Always, no matter what, it's going to end with the stars. Yep. And I hope they keep that up as well.
I do too. And they've done it this long. I don't see them stopping doing it.
I think it's more of a tradition thing.
Yeah.
You
got to start with them and it's got to end with them.
Yeah. I mean, you had Rebels, you had Clone Wars, you had all these other shows that all ended with the stars. Even Mandalorian, that's how it ended. It does the gradient effect. There's the stars, directed by blah, 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 blah.
Right.
So, in the long run, obviously the end of the episode, and by the way, the stranger, the hooded stranger, does have a name. It's John.
I haven't revealed it yet, though. Yeah.
It's John Na Nawud. Yes, I am saying that right. Jod Na Nawud, who's
And like Sha-na-na would,
where he is obviously a force sensitive human, and he's played by Jude Law, which I thought was a pretty good casting choice for him. I really do. I like Jude Law. I like his acting, so it's nice seeing someone new. Now, what kind of Jedi is he?
Or is he a Jedi?
That's debatable. It's debatable.
Right.
Because he's technically a legend character. Another person from the pages of Legends is back in canon, which is what I like.
Right.
But he was a pirate.
Yeah.
He was a pirate. Pirate in the...
It'd be interesting to see what he actually turns into being.
Well, he is a force sensitive.
Right. Well, we know that.
Yeah. And his first appearance was actually in the Marvel comics of Star Wars, October 11th, 1977, known as Crimson Jack. So, needless to say, yay!
Right.
We got a Legends character back in the fold. I love it. So since I went with the first one, it is now your turn, sir.
I really like this episode.
I do
too. It's a nice start to the adventure. It gives us the full feel of how everything happened.
Yes.
You know, how they ended up where they were and why they were there and the whole 9 yards. It really shows just how lost
in space,
in more ways than one, these kids are.
Danger, Will Robinson. Danger, danger.
But the thing that I really like about it is that Wim is maintaining his character.
Oh, yeah.
You know, Wim from the beginning has been one who wanted to have adventures.
Yep.
He wanted to be the guy that helps people that everybody made fun of him for because that's what safety droids are for.
Yep.
And all those kind of things. But at the same time, he's a kid.
Yep. Absolutely.
He makes dumb choices, stupid decisions, and everything else. But they maintain that. You look at a scene in the captain's cabin.
Mm-hmm.
I'd have been the same way. Check this shit. This is cool, and going through all of his stuff.
Look, it's a dead guy's bed. I'm going to lay down on it.
Right. We can sleep here and jumps and a big old cloud of dust comes up and everything.
Sure.
I mean, it's great that he's maintaining that childlike character.
Yes.
I love that about him, and I hope that they could carry that through the entire series. That's going to be interesting to see because I can tell they're going to get in some pretty messed up situations as we go along.
Hey, for the Goonies.
Overall, great episode. It didn't feel like it was 32 minutes. It felt like it was 15.
Yeah, it went very quick.
The pacing, the timing, and everything on it is perfect.
Absolutely. Went very
I'm
quick.
giving this one 4 1/4.
4 1/4, not bad. Not bad for that episode. I like it.
4 1/4 space bikes.
Oh, that's right. We're doing the hover bikes.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot. It's the hover bikes. So, yeah, I'm actually right there with you with 4 1/4. And mostly because I'm not losing interest in this. I'm loving that it's giving that Goonies feel.
Yep.
It's also that Star Wars feel. And it's also now that Lost in Space combination. So now you got the trifecta going on.
Well, and even with the nod to Green Mile.
Yep, nod to Green Mile. I also am loving that the characters not only are staying the way they are, but they're also starting to adapt to their surroundings, especially Fern. I love
so I
that
was gonna say,
she's
some quicker than others.
yeah. And you know, at first I thought this was all just going to be about Wim. You know, like Wim's the main character. They all have equal time on the screen.
Neil's more in the background right now.
Yeah, but
Neil's more in the background right now. We don't see a lot happening with him.
Neil,
but I think he's gonna come out more in the next couple episodes.
Yeah, but the other thing with Neil is he is the cautious one.
He's a scaredy cat.
I wouldn't say he's a scaredy cat. Yes, he is scared, but more along the lines of the cautious.
Yeah.
Wim is let's go for the adventure. Fern is like, no, wait a minute. We can still do the adventure, but we need to be level-headed.
Right.
And KB, she's the analyst.
Yeah. She's just looking and watching and learning.
Yes. She's soaking it all up, which is amazing.
And Neil's biggest worry is what's going to happen when we get home. How much trouble are we going to be in?
We're all going to die. Dad's going to kill me.
Mm-hmm.
And Neil just wants a nice hot meal. That's all he wants. and his
bed.
And his bed, which I can't really say I blame him.
No, not at all.
Can't say I blame him. So I'm right there with you with episode 2 being 4.25. I think you and I are pretty much neck and neck right now with the first couple episodes, which is great. I think I was a little ahead of you last episode.
No, I was ahead of you. You were a 4 and I was a 4.5.
That's right. So we're on track to being this, but again, and I've stated this from episode 1. Jon Favreau, Dave Filoni are executive producers, so you know it's going to be done right.
Yeah, and it's going to be good.
And honestly, it can only get better from here. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we're going to come into a process of it being stagnant on an episode. It usually happens.
Mm-hmm.
But at least we know now that at Aden is that mythical place in the galaxy.
Yep.
And I also think we're going to start learning more about it. Now that, it's illegal to go past the barrier. Well, why? Why was it illegal to go past the barrier? Do they know that? I mean, they know that the Empire is no longer in control and it's the Republic, but do they, what's the reasoning? Why is it nobody can leave the planet? Why can't people come to the planet? What happened? It leaves it open for a lot of different questions. And I know for a fact one of these episodes, even though this series is about the kids, we're going to find out what happens to Wim's dad eventually. And I don't think it's going to be good. Just putting it out there. So that, my friends, is the end of 2 Ewoks in the Park for this week. Tomorrow, we are not live for the Sully Show. We will be live for the Sully Show on Wednesday. I have things going on tomorrow. I just have to push it to the next day. So, 8 p.m. Eastern time. Hopefully we'll be on TikTok as well. I want to thank everybody who joined at least for like a minute or two or, 3 minutes, 4 minutes. If you loved being a part of the show, awesome. I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. It's okay if you didn't like the live. I don't mind. But it is what it is. I get it. But tomorrow, we're not live. Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern time, we will be live for the Sully Show. New episode of the Skeleton Crew comes out tomorrow night at 9. Disney Plus, Star Wars, Skeleton Crew. They do not sponsor the show. Be really cool if they did. Just putting it out there. And we will be live next Monday to go over episode 3
Yeah.
of the Skeleton Crew. And with that being said, for the redneck, JT, there he is with his salute. TikTok, I know you can't see him. It's all good. He doesn't want to be on TikTok. It's all right. He doesn't even like being on Twitch.
I did fight that for a while.
But he's gotten so used to it now that he has no choice. I mean, he could turn his camera off, but he's one of my best friends.
I'm too vain for that.
You're so vain. You probably think the song is about you.
You're so vain.
So anyway, we will see you all Wednesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern for the Sully Show. Have a great night, everybody. We'll see you then. And of course, as always, may the Force be with you.